Today we're going to be building this horror movie inspired iconic bathroom door with a little door that opens up so you can stick your Jack Torrance head through. I actually made this for our horror themed Airbnb up in Big Bear, but this would just make an awesome Halloween decoration. You could just pull the pin out of the hinges and hang this door up on your existing hinges for Halloween decoration every year. It wouldn't be too difficult, and this would be a pretty sweet Halloween decoration. So let's start making it. So I got this special solid wood 4-panel door. It was actually pretty hard to find, but I found a place in Southern California down by San Diego kind of who stocks these, so I was able to get one of these. So it's just solid wood, and got my cutout drawn here for the Jack Torrance face through the hole situation. So just kind of looked at the movie screenshots and kind of did a similar looking situation to that. Over here I kind of got a straightish edge into the thicker part of the door, so that'll be where the hinges are for that. And over here is kind of a weird little shaped jagged thing that works with the design actually, but that's where the bolt will be, so you can lock it from inside the bathroom. So let's just try this thing. I'm just going to take a jigsaw and try to cut this thing out. So I laid down some painter's tape just to help the edges so there wasn't too much chipping, but then literally just took the jigsaw and went around it. Just my tip is to try to make it as perpendicular as possible. Alright, so got the hole cut out. Looks pretty good. Came out better than I was thinking it would even. And then here's the extra piece, or the door. Fits right inside of there nicely. And then I got these hinges here. Just simple little small hinges. We'll put these guys on here. Just like that. So then it will swing out. Hopefully. Let's try it. Putting on the hinges is pretty basic. It just takes patience and a lot of fitting. Just kind of going back and forth with just minor adjustments to make sure the door opens nicely and doesn't hit anything. But just take your time and you'll get there. Check this out. Oh yeah, fits great. Yeah, had to do a little sanding and fitting because some of the edges were tight. I don't think I went perfectly straight with the jigsaw in some spots, but yeah, not too much fitting. Worked out pretty well. Goes perfect that way. Fits back in perfectly. Man, super happy with this. Looks great. Yeah, this is awesome. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to install this latch. So this is me in the future jumping in. This latch didn't work for a variety of reasons. It was just a little too complicated, and maybe I'm just not good enough of a craftsman to really get that thing to line up and work well. So I ended up going with a different latch that was much simpler and I think ended up working a lot better. So here, let's jump ahead to the future and I'll show you the latch I ended up using. And then I had to go with a different latch. I went through about 4 different options, but this was the best option where I wanted guests to be able to actually see that it was locked, and then also it needed to be like low profile enough that it could fit through the door. So that was the latch I chose. Okay, and then back to our regular timeline. I just had to install a door handle and lock because this was just a unfinished solid wood door. So that's just like any other door. You can pull up a YouTube video to figure out how to do that, but highly recommend getting one of these jigs available at Home Depot or wherever just to help you do that. It makes it a lot easier. And once you got it hung up, you got to do a little test of the Jack Torrance situation before you go into painting. So because we wanted this to match our cabin, one side of the door, I stained it a nice dark brown so it kind of matched the wood aesthetic of the cabin. But then obviously on the shining side of the door, you want it to be white like in the movie. So I double-sided painted my door. One side obviously stained brown, the other side white. It's kind of a hassle to do that, just kind of a tedious job to tape everything off and get all the corners and the edges and the sides good like that. If you can, I would just paint both sides of this door white, especially if you're using this for a Halloween decoration or something. It's just a lot easier to paint both sides the same color, but there you go. And then we gotta have the axe sticking out of the door, of course. So I took a router and routed out a little slot in the door for the blade of the axe to sit into. I dulled down the blade and then used construction adhesive to essentially just glue it directly into there. And then I actually drilled and drived a screw through the backside of the little door up into the bottom handle of the axe as well. So it's super, super sturdy in there. All right, so got the axe mounted, got the door hung, super happy with it. So the axe I got glued up here in that slit, and then you can see here I have an actual screw, so there's a mechanical connection there holding it tight. So that's super tight there. That axe feels really solid. You know, it ain't gonna be pulled out, and I dulled it down too, so it's not sharp or anything. So next I'll just, I'm going to fill this hole, you know, just do some wood filler and then paint over that so you don't see that on the other side. And then I still have a little bit of fitting to do. It still hits right here, just barely. So I'll have to do a little bit of sanding and then repainting on it. And maybe just barely, I'll do a little bit around there everywhere just to have some clearance, but it does push through with a little bit of effort, but I'll make that a little better. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And the last step to finish it off is the red rum text. So I actually have a vinyl cutter, so I was able to cut out a stencil like this and do it this way. It did bleed a little bit, so you might just want to do like kind of pencil it out and then just do it by hand on top of that, and then, you know, get a good look of it. I mean, in the movie, Danny just draws it with some lipstick, so I think you'd be fine just doing it by hand. But there you go. This really finishes it off and completes the look. And there you have it. You've got yourself a horror movie inspired iconic door. Put this in your bathroom. Put this anywhere in your house. Please let me know if you end up making this. I'm really curious. I think this would be just an awesome Halloween decoration. And I'm very curious who makes this. And if you guys have any ideas for improvements or anything like that too, I always love to hear that stuff. But thanks for watching.